Each year, the Rotary Club District hosts exchange students from around the world, allowing them to have a true Canadian experience. As Kelsea Bloxam explains, the teens get a chance to head up north for the adventure of a lifetime.
This 17-year-old has been living in the border city for the past 6 months, attending school and getting a taste for Canadian culture. Last week, she took part in Tiptoe with the Caribou.
We drove up from Lloydminster to Edmonton, and then we picked up the students, and then we went to the Valley View, pick up another students, and the last stop it was a Peace River. And after we pick up all the students, we drove to Yellowknife.
Sine, along with 19 other students, made the 8-day trek, becoming a part of a long history.
That's a program that was set up about 15 years ago with an exchange student that left the Lloydminster Club and was on a foreign exchange and met a Yellowknife student that was also on foreign exchange, and they thought that it would be a unique experience if the Rotary District in our area would set up a trip like that.
Being able to explore the Canadian North is what the trip is all about. Activities include ice fishing, dog sledding, and a stop at a native school.
They've brought the students in and showed them traditional native hand games and had the students participate in that, and just goes through the type of school programs that they have in the Northwest Territories, which is quite unique to what every other school in Canada would be doing.
A team of chaperones accompany the high school students, showing them the ropes of the Great North.
It was a phenomenal time and a phenomenal experience for kids that will most likely never experience that way of life again. And I think it's not lost on the kids that it's an experience that not a lot of Canadians get to have either.
For many of the students, seeing the Northern Lights for the first time was the best part of the trip, but for Sine, it was getting a chance to drive her own dog team.
It was really fun, and even it was too cold, but I still had fun with it.
Kelsea Bloxam, Newcap News.
The 36th annual Kinsman Telemiracle is underway this weekend in Regina. Local musician Sam Lundell will be making a guest performance. Carrie McCullough tells us how this annual event brings people together to make miracles happen.
For Darcy Wildeman, Telemiracle has been a big part of life for him and his wife. The Wildemans will be driving down to Regina tomorrow to spend the weekend helping out with the Telemiracle event.
There's 5 of us going from Lloydminster this year, 3 Kinets and 2 Kinsmen, me being one of the Kinsman members. My wife Leanne sits on the actual Foundation Telemiracle board. Next year I'm fortunate enough to be sitting on Telemiracle 37 committee.
Telemiracle is in its 36th year and continues to provide for people in need and make dreams come true.
We're looking forward to it. It's going to be a great weekend, 20 hours of no sleep and lots of fundraising, and every individual in Saskatchewan going for the same goal, to raise money for the less fortunate.
14-year-old musician Sam Lundell is a performer, and for him, Telemiracle is a family affair and has been for generations.
I'm from a family that 4 generations have kind of been raised, staying up late every year for around this time for Telemiracle.
Telemiracle raised around $4.6 million last year and was able to grant 585 miracles throughout 2011. If you haven't been involved or donated before, ring those phones, as the saying goes.
Ring those phones. It's that's a chant that's been heard a lot over the years in Saskatchewan, and it's the kind of the easiest thing, the most straightforward thing you can say is ring those phones, get the word out.
Carrie McCullough, Newcap News.
Showcasing a love of shading. In this week's arts and entertainment feature, Gerard Lampow catches up with some grade 12 students at Lloyd Comp who are making the textures of pencil drawing come alive.
From an early age, they took to various artistic forms, and while some admit to still enjoying acrylic, the depth of their craft shines forth through shading.
Pencil drawing is interesting because you get a lot of different textures with pencils, and also a lot of different shades doing different pencils, determining on what kind of pencil they are. You can get different kind of richness in the color.
Pencil drawing has one tone, so Elizabeth draws inspiration from many sources.
I usually probably would say I'm more inspired by movies or like pop, media, culture like that.
And even though it's for exams, these students enjoy their work.
There's so much warmth and depth that you can put in it with the values, with like having the darker shadowing or the highlighting of the accents. It's really fun.
The challenge remains to bring out the art by just using one color.
I just loved how bright the colors were. You can get like really acidy colors that are really catch the eye. So I really like acrylic painting now.
Kaylin tells us about this piece.
So I thought of the brain when my friend Kaila was doing a heart for her pencil drawing, and it was kind of more of a joke that I should do another type of organ. And I was like, well, you use your brain to come up with ideas for art, so I might as well draw the brain, I guess. And it was kind of a joke, but it turned out all right.
In the lower grades, these students sharpen their technique, and now with their teachers' guidance, they are developing their own style.
In grade 10s and 11, 10 we're working on basic skills, techniques, and in 11 we're working with materials, and then in grade 12 they're putting together their portfolio.
And pencil drawing is a stepping stone to the future.
Probably on the side, because there's a lot of careers that involve art, but I don't think focusing on it.
Gerard Lampow, Newcap News.
Coming up, the latest on the robocalling scandal that continues to rock Parliament. That story after the break.
Stocks and oil prices brought to you by Spectrum Restoration. When disaster strikes, don't wait. Call the professionals at Spectrum Restoration, a certified member of the Canadian Disaster Restoration Group.
Thank you, Gerard. The 93rd annual Pride of the Prairies Bull Sale kicks off this Sunday at the Lloydminster Exhibition Grounds. The event is one of Canada's largest bull shows, attracting people from across the prairies. In this week's Agriculture Report, Peter Quinlan gives us a sneak peek of the event.
The 7 breeds will be horned, horned Hereford, polled Hereford, Black Angus, Red Angus, Limousine, Charolais, and Simmental.
Each of these bull breeds will have their own time to shine as they compete for a very prestigious title.
The 7 breeds have their own specific show. You have a grand champion and a reserve grand champion from each breed.
And the competition is steep. Some of the country's best bulls come from the Midwest region, and once the results are in, the bulls are up for grabs to anyone willing to pay a couple $1,000s.
The last 2 supreme champions at Agribition were born, bred, raised, and shown right here in Lloydminster. So I think the quality level is second to none.
The legacy of bringing top-notch bulls to the city has continued for almost a century now, something Locke says is only possible because of the dedication of area ranchers.
These local breeders here that started this and kept it up have done a good job over the years. Quality is second to none anywhere in all of the major breeds. And when you get a bull out of here, they're all halter broke and ready to go to work.
Over 3,000 bulls are usually sold at the event that begins Sunday at noon. Peter Quinlan, Newcap News.
The Agriculture Report is brought to you by Novlin Brothers in Lloydminster. Find the best in versatile and Kubota machinery. Novlin Brothers, serving you better.
Coming up, a first-hand account from those stuck on a cruise ship for days with no power, as they're now safely ashore. That story after the break.
The ag and commodity prices are brought to you by City Center Auto Body.
Look, Mom.
At City Center Auto Body, they can fix anything.